He
and
worried
hit
about
threes.
Jonathan Isaac on Jaylen Brown.
Jonathan
What are we talking
Isaac
about?
in the big 2026.
In the big 2026.
Whoa.
6'11" with
The
clamp
magic.
joy.
So first of all, yes, you will notice in the background, my kid is starting to take up real estate. That's besides the point though. Back in January, I got to work with House of Highlights, actually the entire couch. If you're familiar with that channel, the Couch Gamers, we got to work with House of Highlights on a Fan vs. Haters episode, which as you can tell is about the Boston Celtics. That's the team I've been supporting now for almost 20 years. I did not know that episode was dropping yesterday. I had my preparation for what I did with that debate filmed. I watched, what was it? The 2008 against LeBron James, that Cavaliers series, and then some of the final series against the Lakers. Actually, the game that I believe to this day would still be the biggest comeback in NBA Finals history. So I went through those games in the same style that we did on the Couch channel, me and Jelani. We went through Lakers Pistons 04, some of the Mavs and Warriors, I believe. And I kind of watched those games in that style for the points that I was going to have to debate, and I thought those were important. However, for the Cavaliers game, time didn't permit me to do the whole thing. I stopped at halftime. I still wanted to put that one first. I think that's a stronger start. And if you watch the actual episode, you will see all of my claims. In these games, I'm just breaking down what's happening, how it kind of relates to how I'm going to debate. It's just showing the thought process that I had before I went in there. I thought it was interesting. During the summer, once the season is gone, we will be doing more videos like this where we're watching series, we're watching games that people had narratives about and have never actually really watched the games. And when you watch the footage, you would be surprised at the things you see versus what you've heard. So this video is kind of long, but I had fun with it. I hope that you enjoy. And yeah, after you're done, go watch the House of Highlights episode. We had a ton of fun with that one. Boy, I forgot before YouTube, I absolutely used to debate mostly in person. LeBron James this series is shooting 33%. Just want to point that out. I'm going to be watching game 7 because that's the most important thing, but obviously the Celtics defense going against this Cavs team don't have a lot of other options to key in on, so that helps, but it'll help if I can actually watch the footage and see Paul Pierce's impact. As you see, the big three. So this series, KG, well, this doesn't speak for this series. This speaks for the entire playoffs. So this is Hawks. This is Cavs so far up to now. KG leading in scoring. Ray Allen has just taken a nasty dip. But that's one of the reasons I argue this was the best fitting team, the best fitting big three. That's another thing. Or they would have been the best, or whatever point I'm arguing is basically like, if you think about big threes that were not the Spurs type big three that was drafted together. I'm talking about big threes. Like KG, Allen, Pierce, big threes, traded free agency, that type thing. They had the most complete team. I'm gonna argue that because you look at those numbers and say, okay, well, how are they still winning? No, it wasn't just the East was ass. Well, I mean, 2 of the teams they played weren't that great. Anyways, let's just watch the footage because the big three could play subpar, and this team was so deep they could still win. And so Ray Allen having a brutal series, as I alluded to in that Lakers game. I don't know which one is going to go first. However, I make this series because this is all about me just kind of steadying up a bit on things that I actually lived through. And one of them is Paul Pierce being the most underrated Finals MVP. So I started with the Lakers, but I said I want to go to the Cavs too because that argument is going to go into me basically saying, hey, Pierce did a lot that year. I know it's easy to just say, oh, you got KG and Allen as teammates and you won, bro, but him going against LeBron, so yeah, LeBron and Kobe, it's not like this big three was just overwhelming everybody, you know? Boom. Perkins switch, Pierce gets a pass. Obviously, that's a product of Celtics defense being where it is. Like I said, Braun's not playing great. But look at the options on the floor, right? Zerbiak's a shooter, Delonte's a shooter, but then you got 2 bigs. Ilgauskas can play. But this is just not a championship team. It's not a team as good as Boston. He doesn't have a Ray Allen out there. He doesn't have a KG. So it makes sense. But I want to see the job Pierce did on that. Because if you actually watch the defense he played on Kobe. Simple stuff. But yeah, I had to go download this game. Because online, the only copy I found was an hour-and-a-half file of the Hardwood Classic version. Now, Hardwood Classics, they cut a lot out. And I'm specifically trying to see actual information. Not just highlights. There's Delonte West starting Cleveland off with the bucket. Sad to see what's happened to him in the time since. Screen LeBron off. He gives him time to get back, but there's no contest. Bucket. And so, yeah, this was another game that I actually remember watching and remember being there for. And again, the funny thing is, and look at that, until Big Ben gets back, LeBron get the jumper up. I remember watching these, and this is what happened. Maybe I was just naive, but growing up, it never felt like the Celtics were in danger of losing these type of games when they were in a game 7 with a lesser team, like they were with Philly a couple of years later. When it was like a series, I came in and said, oh yeah, we got them. Let's go ahead and go to the next round. It could still go this far, and I wasn't scared as a kid. I just thought there was no shot a team that wasn't even supposed to be there in my eyes could get a game 7 out of the Garden. And now look at the Cavs defense though too, right? I made this joke in the skit I did about the 2016 season. I throw a joke in there about how people only care about offense. And one of the things is, look at Cleveland's D. That was crazy. Look at Cleveland's defense. The Celtics averaged 100 points, as Jeff Van Gundy says there. 3-point percentage down, field goal percentage down. There's no nod to that, though. There's no credit given to defense because the whole thing is just LeBron didn't have help. This team sucked. This team was ass. And I keep telling people, well, okay, but I remember living through 07, 08, 09. I remember these years, and we didn't talk about them like that. Me, who was a sicko watching basketball every single day and keeping up with all these things, was telling people when the Celtics were a better team, like 2010. I called that finals run. I was on my own on that one. But the Cavs were a threat, man. Even in 2010, the Cavs, they threatened me. I didn't just go in and say, oh, yeah, we're going to take care of them. I still had to see it. I still had to have them make me believe, as you see Zerbiak just threw up some bullshit. But yeah, you don't ever hear any defense talked about, which is a big part of how those Cavs also got where they went, right? Even look at that right there. I mean, that's high PNR, didn't open up anything. Now they're showing up here because KG's going to have to get a little bit closer for them to trust him. Hand off the perk. It worked that time. But yeah, that counts. You know, those players, even look at today. I mean, it's harder to guard in today's league because see, all this right here isn't really going on as much. A lot of stuff under the line. It's way more spaced. But you have to talk about both sides, though, because the reason the 07 Cavs were in the finals, yes, Braun was amazing, but he had help in the East. Daniel Gibson has a game that's just never talked about. Great pass. Oh, and Zerbiak makes him earn it. Great foul. And people just don't talk about that side of the ball whatsoever. It just doesn't matter that they almost won this series because they shut down as a team. LeBron didn't shut all them down himself. As a team, as the scheme, whatever scheme Mike Brown went with, that was an effort from multiple guys. It's Pierce. Speaking of effort, and I already know because I've talked about this game and I've made videos. You're gonna look at the stats and see Paul Pierce kind of went 1v1 with Braun in this game and won it. And so that's part of where I'll be going. Yeah, bro, it's disrespectful. The things people have said are highly disrespectful about Paul Pierce because this was a run. Great defense from Paul Pierce there, not getting lost. Now Perk is there to help. Yeah, we're keeping Braun completely out of the paint. Pierce did his initial job. Perk brings the help. Braun calling for it. Pierce, hand up so he doesn't just shoot it. Braun jabbing for space. KG is ready. Braun is being patient. Excellent defense. That's the thing. Pierce, yes, he had a back line. Oh my gosh. Pierce had a back line, but on LeBron and Kobe now, we have seen great individual possessions like this where he's got to be up 1v1 and do his job so the help doesn't have to engage. Couldn't put the rest of the team in rotation a lot of the times. Kobe and LeBron had a hard time ever getting Boston in rotation because Pierce had to do that first job. That one was stopped by Perk. LeBron got him on the cut there. So this is why, right? Me watching this game as a kid, I'd probably go 4-12. In my mind, okay, cool. We got off to the start we wanted. We got home court. We're not losing this lead. LeBron got open that time, but it's a fade. Rondo, look how fast he was. And they're getting them in transition. And now it's 14-4. So I'm just assuming, cool, we about to dog them the same day we did ATL. The same way we did ATL. Anytime they even look like they're going to set a pick, it's basically a trap on Braun. The Cavs are trapping PNR so far as well. Gauskas, he could do that. Rondo gets in and steals a rebound. He was so fast. That's one thing. If you wondered how was Rondo successful without a jumper, one thing is how fast he got the Celtics into their sets. Him being able to push in transition like this. Obviously, you see here the lack of space really starting to mean something. Miss Perk is just going to go old school. Look at the bench. Boston's bench is hype. They feel good about this one. AG and Pierce getting ready. Now it's Pierce and Perk. Braun snakes his way in. Tough. Every look is so tough. No foul? Jump ball. Oh, yeah. Playoff basketball, baby. Pierce goes and gets that. Ray KG. Two-man game. Haven't seen that a ton. So Pierce here. Not ready for Braun. Goes over. Ogalskis. How is that a foul on fucking Pierce? Oh, that's a foul on Z. I was about to say. I thought they didn't just call a playoff foul on Pierce on this. So Joe Smith comes in and give you a little bit more offense. That's a crazy sentence there by Mark Jackson, but that shows signs of the time, right? Said they needed more offense, so they went from Wallace to Joe Smith, who was old by this point. And so nothing happening this possession, and then Rondo bails out with the jumper. Yeah, everyone probably thought this was over already. 12 straight points, you're home. They did this to ATL. Why was the series close anyways? And then LeBron is getting as tough a looks as you would expect. Here he gets downhill. Pierce is there. So Pierce is getting beat by Braun a couple of times in this first quarter. A little bit more than he did by Cole. So you see the game starting to slow down a little bit. Rondo wide open. If I showed the Lakers game first, I made note of that right there. The fact that Rondo was such a hindrance to the half-court offense at times. It was a really, really big issue in the Celtics era that nobody's ever going to talk about because A, they won one, B, they went to 2 finals, and C, you know, Rondo, I don't want to take away from how good he was, but boy, if they could have had a PG. Ugh, get in the fucking rim. I was going to say if they could have a PG that could shoot, but my goodness. Varejao, solid screen. And then James just sliced into the tiniest sliver of space. Score that, man. It would have been a feat if he could have beat this team. If they could have beat this team. If he could have beat this team. Offensively, it obviously mostly comes down to him. Yo, we're not just letting y'all do anything in PNR, which is one thing they're struggling with because, again, with 2 players on the floor. Oh, wow. Pierce got away with holding right there. That's amazing. That's the little things Kobe was talking about. It's what the ref can't see. But yeah, these possessions, so they're trapping PNR, and that's difficult because without, you know, 2 of the players on the floor can't shoot. And then KG has to step in to shoot. Boom, this is now, what, the 4th or 5th Boston possession we've seen that's stagnated. 2 right here, they go ahead and talk about Paul Pierce's defense.
Defend a great receiver. Double team, high hands, contest, active. You talk about strength, communication. You got a bump on the line. Take a look at KG. Does a good job at bumping. And then Pierce continuing to follow in position to contest the jump shot, making life tough. And most importantly, hands. Use those hands, the upper body strength, force him out of his comfort zone, fadeaway shots. Paul Pierce, a thing of beauty defensively.
Yeah, I'm not going to have any type of difficult time arguing he is a heavily disrespected finals MVP because, again, when you don't watch the footage or you weren't there, it's easy to relegate it to super team this, KG Allen that, weak teams this. Oh my gosh. And as you see, Pierce is on the floor now, which means James Posey is on that assignment. So now, boom, this is what you don't necessarily get with Pierce as much is forcing the help who comes over and fouls. Otherwise gets put in rotation or leave somebody else open. So yeah, I won't have any hard time because when you actually look at it, you look at just how they just broke down Pierce's defense there. I can show you the same thing with Kobe. How many players in the league could do that in one run? They had to play Detroit after this, but I'm not going to pop up Detroit without Ben Wallace. It wasn't the same team. There we go. And that's something interesting too, right? Did you see how bad Ray Allen struggled sometimes with Boston? And then he ended up leaving. They were always talking about trading him. I do wonder if I ever get to interview him one day, I'm going to ask him about his time in Boston because I remember watching him. And as a kid, I didn't know basketball as much. I'm just going, oh, fuck, Ray Allen missed a clutch shot. Ray Allen. You know, I'd be mad at Ray Allen, but whole time, They're not really running offense for him.
Talking to him before the game, Mark, he was saying it's a combination of he's not getting a lot of opportunities, but he's also obviously saying I'm just not shooting the ball well right now. Well,
Yeah, see, there you go, right there. And now the defense starts to break down. Got Poe. This is a different lineup. Hurricane back there. They're slightly smaller. Cleveland did have a lot of size. One thing, Joe Smith, Ben Wallace, Varejao, Gauskas. So that's a big, big line, which is another thing people take for granted. Because I've been raving about this 08 team's size and depth. For this era in basketball, having a bunch of big, stalwart guys mattered. They didn't necessarily have to average 20. And so now without Pierce on the floor, Ray Allen's looking for his shot more. But again, I kind of wonder when guys complain about Doc, Perk complained about Doc. I do wonder if they look back and go, well, yeah, that's part of the reason Ray wasn't getting certain looks. Part of the reason Ray struggled or this or that. And that can be a more solid way to criticize Doc instead of just Doc sucks. He always chokes. Because if I watch the Hawks series, I bet you that's part of it. I bet you Ray Allen wasn't being used like Ray Allen. Again, this is what, Seattle? Go look up his Seattle numbers right before this. And I bet you he was probably an all-star either a year or two before this as well. Ray was still Ray. And so to come to Boston and essentially just be a release valve, a modern-day release valve, by the way. Modern-day release valves are just like Ray. Sit around, get on that wing, wait for the ball. I mean, you get the dribble sometimes. So he kind of got relegated to that a little bit. It could have benefited from a better coach, huh? Posey, Eddie House. Now we've got way more shooting on the floor. And that's going against Cleveland's size and defense. That shot right there. That is one shot that, once he got injured, just was not anywhere near as consistent. The elevation, I guess, that he got, the speed in which his fakes happened, that was a huge, huge part of his arsenal that I had noticed in real time. Just did not hit the same. I'd like to see the numbers on that, though. Damon Jones, that's a shooter. Look at that size. Again, Boston, slightly smaller lineup, struggling here. And, ooh-wee. So, after starting off 14-4, they only scored 4 more points. This Boston offense could struggle really, really bad sometimes, which doesn't necessarily make sense since they had Ray Allen and KG, even if you didn't have Pierce. So, I'm going to assume Braun almost never comes out of this game. Now we got PJ Brown. So, just massive front line again for Boston. LeBron just drove in. Oh, look at that. That's Pierce. He doesn't get it inside because Pierce plays way better defense. And there isn't a rebounder left when the big had to engage. Talk another point up for a job Pierce did that nobody cared about. Trapping PNR again, which is one way they're basically keeping Ray Allen out of it. Because if they're not running supreme off ball for him, on ball, they're trapping that everywhere. Now, that's interesting in this lineup because, oh, well, they're double big again, so, yeah. 13 points. Wow. Lowest in Game 7 history, it says. Tied lowest. Now, Pierce comes in. Doc said he didn't like the offensive look so far. And, yeah, he's got to come in very next play because you also don't have the defense. Look, LeBron is Eddie House made a good defensive play there. Braun, you could just see he feels more confident, as he should. Leon Poe. Good help. And this one was still with Posey on him, so Pierce got a little bit of a break. Yeah, and there's 3 guys there. Massive team, bro. That's one point I'm going to argue that I don't feel is very crazy. It's just about how damn deep this team was and them compared to other big 3 teams and super teams, especially relative to their time period. Because we weren't done with bigs yet for the little bit of time that we were. Is Pierce probably having the best offensive game of the playoffs at this point for him? Got 11, 5 and 9, and now he's taking a break on Braun. Also don't want him in foul trouble. So Posey. Poe switch. But now look at that. Braun is not going to settle. Pass it. He's going to give a 3. Pierce up court. Poe. A foul? Yeah, it's foul from Braun. 51st career playoff game, which was the most by a Celtic without winning a title, which will go into the other point I'm arguing about this being the greatest franchise. And it ain't just titles, it's how they're managed. You can't show me another franchise where you say, damn, the only time they were really in the mud was because they had basically motherfuckers died Wow. So somebody didn't know what play was being ran here, and it looks like Braun called it. So Zerbiak catches. And it looks like he was just going to the corner. He's like, why'd you throw that? I mean, he called the play. You didn't know the play that... It was that bad that it looks like Braun was headed to the corner. You threw it to him. Man, I'm telling you, sports betting got me looking at games different now. Pierce gets the screen here. Varejao trying to get Braun time to recover, and another foul. Boston's playing ahead for a lot of this game, which is okay. This fits because one thing I've pointed out when I've talked about this game on my channel is I don't remember feeling like they were in danger, and this is why. As you see, so far up to the second quarter, it hasn't really been back and forth as much as it's been. It feels like you're just waiting for Boston to completely blow them out of the water. That's what I remember. That's the vibe that I remember. Then, as I've gone back to write stories about this game and such in this series, I've had to be like, man, what if they were so close? And they were. They got really close at the end, but I think this might turn out to be one of those games where it was a coin flip toward the end. Because otherwise, I would have been sweating. I mean, I was a kid, but I would sweat still if it looked like it was tough. LeBron's getting posy. This is the most runway he's been able to get, and that's a crazy shot. I feel like he's only gotten to the rim actually once or twice, as expected. He's guarding Pierce on the other end as well. So yeah, his job was just astronomical. But hey, once again, right? Just in terms of talking what actually happened and not narratives. Talking about this Celtics team that, and yeah, defensively, this right here is why it would have been such a feat, is because, again, Braun is just having to find a way to make something happen while the Celtics essentially care little for anybody else. I mean, Z on the three-point line at 08 is not moving anyone. But quiet is kept. Does it feel overwhelming to you, though? As you're watching this, does it feel overwhelming, like, on offense? Is Ray Allen just giving the Cavs defense hell? No, he's barely having anything run for him. And once the PNR dies, he damn near just turns it over. KG is not just overwhelming his defender. Cavs have size here. Oh my gosh, what a split by Pierce. Hey, it's Pierce. Pierce is the only one that feels uncorked. So I'm probably going to have a series where I just go back for years and years, especially during the summer, and just watch games so they're out there and so we can all talk about them. Because being in the basketball scene for 10 plus years now, it's really like way longer than that. But on YouTube and established, you realize how many games just get smashed down into one sentence. Oh, he played the super team. Oh, it was this guy. Oh, this is why he won. Oh, this guy didn't show up. It's Pierce again. Cleveland can't even get close on defense on one end, and now he's got 16 of the 29, so he's got over half of their points. But yeah, so many things. I remember Steve Jones from Dunker Spot talked about this one time. It wasn't in reference to what I'm speaking of, but he was just saying, hey, no. Oh, wow, that's a very rare defensive mistake and a bad foul. Steve Jones was basically saying, yo, no, things happen on the basketball court. There was adjustments. There was plays. There was counters. There was things that actually happened, and so that's why I kind of want to do this more. This is just sitting for Bleacher Report and the debate, but I want to make actual content out of this, kind of like we did with the couch last summer. We had Lakers Pistons, we did Mavs, Heat Spurs might already be on this channel, but I'm going to do that more and more so we can actually go back and have discussions and not just say, oh, this guy got hurt, it was over. No, this guy got hurt, and then somebody else came in that low-key made their offense flow better. And if this guy hadn't been hurt, they would have had to play this style. There's actual things that happen. It's not a video game. You don't just, as they trap Pierce up there, which leads to a posy 3, because Pierce is so on fire, you got to see the corner shooter. So Cleveland has not made a three-point field goal yet. And now LeBron is off the floor. My goodness, this is not a good time. They did what they could because I don't think he's been out of the game at all. Like I said, Boston just feels in control. Boom. Die for it. Wow, what a play. What a play. Eddie House, man. This was a goddamn squad. Yep, this is what I remember. I do not remember the part where it took to the very last second to barely win. I remember feeling like I could kick my feet up, have my hands behind my head, eat some chips. I was big chilling, and this is why. This is, yeah, okay. No, I wasn't crazy. Home teams win Game 7 81% of the times, too, as well. History was on your side, math. So what offense we running without Braun? We have nobody to bend the defense. We're just going to have to set a bunch of screens for our shooters. Posey is all over that shit. Posey said, I just guarded LeBron. Great. Oh, man. Yeah, see, Braun is not even getting down there today. Y'all damn sure aren't. Braun. Yeah, there we go. I was about to say, oh, they beat me to it. I was about to say, yo, Braun has to check back in right now before they go down 20. There's no offense without Braun. So there we go. That's valid, right? When we say a more valid thing than, oh, this team sucked. LeBron was by himself. LeBron beat this team by himself. LeBron did this by himself. The more appropriate thing is, oh, yeah, on offense, they had no way to bend the defense without him. They were shitters without him on offense. Now, the team was kind of appropriately built around him, though. They didn't have another star, but structurally, especially in the regular season, and you could have shooters, and in the 2000s, you still needed size. They had that. And then that size paid off on defense. And so they had defense. They just had no way to go deep in the playoffs when their only source against an elite team was LeBron. And man, yeah, these teams did not like each other whatsoever. This right here, Pierce, Braun, KG, they wanted to beat each other so bad. Booing Delonte West is interesting. You know, they used to just boo old players for no reason. I can't say that. I don't know the Delonte West backstory enough. Because he came back and played there. I remember Doc was pleased with that. As Posey has been guarding Braun most of this quarter. But yeah, I don't know. Because I'm about to say, damn, all Delonte did was go play for another team. And I guess since he's playing with Braun, maybe it's that old Celtic playing with Braun. Ray Allen treatment. Hey, KK. So Pierce does not go to KG and instead draws the foul. He was shooting 36% this series. But hey, when they needed him the most, he delivered. Kind of like in the Lakers series where he had a horrible game 3 and LA was about to tie the series. And he finished player of the game, in my opinion. Which is so funny, too, because this is another thing. If I remember correctly, it was always just relegated to, oh, Ray Allen should have won the Finals MVP. So, again, I watched the LA game I watched looked exactly like this from Ray. Exactly what you see from Ray here is what it felt like there. Almost exactly. He did a little bit more. That's not totally accurate. But Braun, good find. The screen, yeah, they just, yeah, that's just getting behind a sleepy defense. Talking about not needing a real point guard on the floor. Rondo would also sit for long stretches, too. Again, this is before Rondo was even a star or a superstar, so it made sense as Braun is now just trying to get anything he can going. Perk, KG comes through. There's just no clean looks in the paint available. And yeah, again, Rondo comes out. Offense is just way better. There's more space. You're not waiting on... Yeah, look at the hype. 1992 Celtics Cavs. So that was 16 years before this. The game I'm looking back at right now is 18 years old, nearly. And so it just struck me that this game they're showing right here, this footage is older. Sorry, it's younger relative to the time span I'm doing. It doesn't feel that way because HD has made everything uniform. See, this game is in HD. This doesn't look too unlike broadcast quality of today. It's a little bit off, but I forget that sometimes. I've been on YouTube now 10 plus years. I've actually been on, if you count officially, I've actually been on 13. And so that's a long time I've been mentioning the same events because 08 was only about 5 years old back then. And I forget, damn. Just like I didn't know anything about Larry Nance and Hot Rod Williams and these other guys, there's a lot of people who simply didn't know anything about this era, which is crazy to me because it feels like being there, I just feel like I remember it like it was yesterday. But also, these have way more content built around them too, so that's why they feel more permanent. The 80s felt completely disconnected from 2000s. Meanwhile, here's Braun, who might go back to Cleveland next year, and it's still... on any given year. Very important. My goodness, make them feel you. Sheesh. This time it's Ray. Perk is there. Boom. Oh, that matches. So 28-40. I'm probably going to get to halftime of this one and pack it up for a little bit. Got some other things to do today. Because definitely need to see the rest of this one because Pierce hasn't guarded Braun in a minute. Braun has been guarding him. He has to. He literally has to. They don't even have another wing defender that could pretend to guard Paul Pierce. But then again, yeah, Ray is completely left out of this, bro. That's, yeah, whew. Hey. They blinked out. They just censored Braun. Huh. So that's what they used to be. Oh, transition didn't work. Notice they play a lot faster with Rondo. Posey back on him. KG. Oh, wow. Yeah, because KG had basically just switched hard. Oh, yeah, easy. Oh, look at Braun. Beautiful. Fine Pierce, though. He came off of Pierce. Nobody had Braun's back. That's insane. Look at Braun. You see that? As much as I raved about their defense, they just fucked him here. Because Braun tried to sneak KG here. Oh, you can't really do the pause thing in this player. But yeah, Delonte West was splitting the difference with Posey. Or was that Zerbiak? I couldn't tell because of the, yeah, this VLC media player I had to use to hear the audio. As you see, the audio has been important. But yeah, Braun also did very much just try to grift the steal too. So, oh, look at KG. Slapped the floor. He literally just talked about Kobe slapping the floor. And so Braun tried to go get a bucket and couldn't. Now KG switched. Give me that. Yeah, nah, that's depoy. That's depoy behavior. Ooh. KG loved that shit though. You saw my motherfucking G. Oh man, I miss this era. Yeah, nah, KG was after it here. That was a kickball, ain't it? Hey, I wouldn't have called it either. Because he played hard for that stop.
I'm not saying it's a dirty play. I'm saying it's unnecessary contact. That is a wind up.
Jeff Gundy, shut the fuck up, bro. About to say, playoff intensity. You don't call a flagrant on that. KG just got a crazy steal. You gonna go ahead and punch that shit? Serbiak should have hit him harder. Posey is doing the best he can, but obviously he can't stop the blow by is Braun. Yeah. So being that Boston is trying to pull away, it might be time for Pierce to go back on Braun. Oh yeah. Go. KG's running because Verajao hit the deck. Oh, switch. Hey. Man, Ray's lack of shooting tonight. I would have thought he'd taken that one. We're trapping again. There we go. Starting with 2 on Braun. Incredible. Oh, man. I will say I see what made him snap and just do the Miami thing. Because, yeah, you know, give credit. I'll give credit to their defense as I feel people haven't, but boy. It was very, very, very difficult for them to create offense that wasn't centered around him. And him being on the court with nothing but role players. Oh, wow. They had Gibson and he didn't play. Oh, they could have used him. Oh, that's one little detail right there. I did not remember. No foul. There we go. And so Pierce, so once again, they're conceding the switch, which you just can't do because as I was saying, there's not another player that can even pretend to go 1v1. Again, Rondo, which is interesting because I had to go look, but apparently somewhere out there, Rondo said he carried them to a title. Did I read that in Ray Allen's book? I can't believe he said that shit. Just from what I've seen in the last couple of games, from what I read, and Pierce threw another foul. This time he got kneed in his back. Boom. Off ball. So he's going to have nearly 30 points in this. Got nearly 30 points. He scored half of his team's points in the first half. There's a switch. Braun. Ooh. Just trying to send a message. Once he got there, he knew he had no chance. But again, Braun's got 21 in 23 minutes. Pierce going to get that back taken care of. Okay, so I am here in mid-January. Don't know if this will ever be a video, but basically I'm going to be on the House of Highlights fan versus hater thing, defending the Celtics. That's going to be hilarious. for many reasons. But one of the claims, I think one of the 6 or 7 claims I have, is Paul Pierce is the most disrespected Finals MVP of the 2000s. Had to reach a bit because, like, you just don't have to defend the Celtics that much. What is there really to defend about this franchise, who's been successful most of its existence? But yeah, specifically for this, long story short, I wanted to see Game 4 because I watched the series obviously almost 20 years ago now. I barely remember it. I remember it a little bit because I've reviewed it since then. But I think Game 4 will probably be the most important game in proving this, just because, here we go, boom. First of all, Paul Pierce has been cooking shit already. I think he had one bad game. Yeah, Game 3. So Game 4 is a bounce-back game, and although it's not the one he scores the most in, my assumption is it's probably the game that won them the series. I want to see some of what he did on defense, and see some of the other guys as well. I'm going to watch more than one game, so we'll see. Maybe this will be videos in the summer or something like that. But yeah, this is just, I feel like this is, out of all the claims I have, I'm not going to list them all here, but of all the claims I have, this is probably the one I need the most help on. Just because the 08 series is the one everyone has been saying forever. I think they said Ray Allen, right? Ray Allen was supposed to be Finals MVP. But you learn doing this job as long as I have. People talk a lot about things they didn't actually see, things they haven't done their due diligence on, games they haven't watched, series they haven't watched. So I just need a refresher because I did watch this. So it starts off with Ray Allen on Kobe. KG block. Obviously, his strongest case to a Finals MVP here would be his defense, because I looked at the numbers. They weren't great for KG in this series. That's one thing with this big 3 team, and that's going to be difficult, right? Because one of the claims I had to reach and argue, you know, they want clips, right? So one of the claims I have to argue is the Celtics big 3 would have been possibly the best big 3 with no injuries. As Ray starts off with a bucket, you see they got that switch with Gasol. Yeah, and to protect that is funny because there's going to be many instances just in the 08 run alone where the big 3 kind of sucked. And so I'm going to have to defend that, right? Because against the Cavs, one piece of credit Paul Pierce doesn't get. One of the reasons Paul Pierce just doesn't get credit in this run is, I mean, playing the Cavs, Ray Allen was a complete shitter in that series. And I think KG as well, but definitely Ray. As Pierce gets open for 3 right there. So looking at that, I'm going to have to really defend how they barely won in 08. And part of it was the big 3 not performing. I mean, hell, in this series, they weren't always great. But yeah, throughout this week, who knows? Maybe this will be a final series like me and Jelani did. Oh, I don't even remember Rondo turning his ankle. Maybe this will just be a big combination of Celtics content that I study over the next couple days. I don't need to study that much. I mean, I've been arguing. Since I was a kid, I've been arguing this stuff, so I know most of it already, but some of them I want to make sure I'm good on. As Pierce gonna get a turnover there, and just interesting again, because one of the things you look back at 08 and say is, how did they win with Perkins and Rondo? In different basketball, obviously back then, space was different for everyone. But you see one thing right here, Kobe is 2 feet in the paint. This was a turnover instantly. Ray Allen is not spaced right. Odom's able to step in on Perk. KG not drawing that much attention from Gasol out there, but he's 1 step away anyways, because KG could hit that shot. Still, though, it's just funny, because I'm going to make a video about this and the spacing and how much of an advantage that is for players today. Is Kobe. I do know the start of this game isn't going to show me much for Pierce, because this is the game Boston goes down crazy. It's Kobe runs Pierce off the 3-point line. Rondo. Obviously, Fisher's gapping him. The Lakers switch heavy on and off ball, because you see Kobe was on KG there, or maybe there I wasn't paying too much attention. Maybe it was his own. I have to look back. Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this. Me and Jelani watched some old games. I was having a lot of fun with him. They basically just doubled Kobe there with almost no communication elsewhere. Lakers just took that apart. That's lazy. Mind you, the Lakers win this game, they tie the series, so obviously having to do this with no Bynum. Kobe comes over and doubles. Doc looking for a foul. And yeah, you can immediately see, though, with how aggressive the Lakers have to be, what might have worked against them series long, because this is a team with so much size. Wow, airball's crazy. And the Lakers, I think, only had 2 bigs in this series. Well, because if I'm not mistaken, their big lineup would have been Turioff, Mbinga. So there goes Turioff. And yeah, PJ's in a suit. So I don't know if he's injured or just not in the rotation. Probably not in the rotation. I remember in 2K9, you had to go all the way to the bottom to get him in. Pierce off ball. KG. Ray Allen cutting through. You see they're having to basically try to double every time KG gets the ball. So this was a tough series for them to win. This smaller lineup is taking them apart here to start, though. The fast breaks, the ball movement, Kobe being a guy you have to basically double. You see Rondo used to get a lot of shots like this. He could hit the mid-range sometimes. Look at all the movement, though. This is one difference. Whenever I get to this video, and as it, once again, smaller lineup, just quicker. One of the things I'm going to talk about is just the spacing, because I do think in one way they look back at old basketball and just say, oh, that was an easier league, or this perk, using his size there on Odom, not much you can do. Because people say the players are just way more talented today, and to a degree they are right, but the way the game is actually executed and played on the court, a lot of teams are just using space. And so guys on the wing don't really get the move like Odom is doing right now. You see Radmanovic spaced in the corner, Fish cutting through. You don't see a lot of this. All these guys standing in the middle, you don't see this today a lot of times, unless the team just has that poor shooting. And you can see Gasol. One thing that immediately sticks out is, man, he was just a lot tougher in 2010. Obviously, Boston was older as well, but even his just physicality. You see when KG gets the ball, they basically double. Just on both sides, Gasol, I watched 2010 an obsessive amount. Both during and after it was over. But during when it was going and after it was over. And man, Gasol just way, way tougher. Pierce is not exaggerating. It's Radmanovic, bang. And that small lineup, once again, just taking them apart. You see there was two going to Kobe. Goes to Odom. Pierce is engaged because of this Odom drive, which yeah, probably needed to be. It looked like Odom could get through, and boom. You have to do a lot more on defense, I would say, back in the day. What's different now is the floor is just so spread that these distances are harder to cover, but there was more action to guard. I mean, LeBron even said this when he was doing a podcast and basically saying a lot of teams are just trying to do the same thing today. Rondo again. We're not adjusting on that. He can hit that mid-range. Cool. We'd rather that than Pierce, KG, or Allen. Get off. Here's transition. Yeah, this is a really tough start for Boston. Beautiful. Man, Gasol and Odom just eating this up. So I remember enough about this game to know, because you see Eddie House at the end. You see a lot of James Posey. I watched enough of this to remember they definitely did go small. I didn't understand that concept at the time. I wasn't watching basketball like that. I wasn't watching it for concepts. I was watching it for entertainment and to get agendas off. But in this game, you're definitely going to see a smaller lineup. And you see why right there. Lakers are just running them out of the building right now in a time where they could tie this series and they have another home game. That was brutal for the away team, or for the team without home court, to have so many home games in a row. The Lakers decided not to switch that. KG just didn't make them pay. Scored or assisted on all 6 Lakers field goals. Yeah, Lamar Odom just being an amazing connective piece right now. Oh, they just gave Kobe that. Odom rebound. No foul? Yeah, I'm about to say KG fouled him. So we'll see. Doc still going. Oh, there we go. I was about to say still going with the starting lineup. So now we checked in PJ Brown. So still going with size. I mean, look at the front line of this team. Mind you, again, these are the Lakers bigs right here. Odom, Gasol, and then Turioff is going to have to play. Just because of rest and rotations. And we're helping all the way off Rondo. It's actually insane to think. And because Rondo was great for this team, don't get me wrong. And he did a lot of good things, and he set the table. But boy, multiple times in this era, Rondo being guarded like he's a college player really hurt them. And yeah, he just letting that bitch fly. That's just a good shot. But we don't talk about that because Rondo has great highlights. Obviously, the whole behind the back fake, He has some amazing passes. Rondo was a great PG. Not taking anything from him, but boom. Look at, and that's a foul, but look at where we're guarding him, man. And here comes Eddie House to kind of probably fix that, because I think he's going to come in for Rondo. I watched enough of my team of the Big Three era to 100% say yes. Because Rondo could not do what he did in that Miami game, what was it, Game 1 2012 or Game 2 2012, where he scored 40 off of open jumpers, basically. He couldn't do that consistently. And so he was guarded like this, and it made life hard for his team quite often. And once Boston's Big Three aged, I just think in the later rounds that definitely mattered. But I don't want to take anything away from him. He was an amazing PG for the era. Nice. God, yo. Caught a foul. They probably would have challenged that today. Yeah, bro. So, yeah, and so Rondo came out, because now you have two bigs who, I mean, PJ can shoot, but also, if you're the Lakers, PJ mid-ranges are probably preferred to anything else happening on the floor. You're guarding him like he's a big. It's two stalwart bigs either way. They're not really that mobile. But man, this team was huge. This Celtics team is damn near as 2000s as it gets. It's like a mixture, because they have some small ball lineups. You have the Big Three thing, which was relatively new at the time. And then you just have big after big. I even think Leon Poe is on this team. So they had about 4 bigs. Yeah, this team was insane, man. Kobe jumps out. The Celtics are just bricking, too. The Lakers are playing good D, but they also have had to do a lot because of the size of Boston. And they've missed a ton of open shots. So we double Kobe, Fisher, got his feet in the paint. Let's see here. Once again, this is just a good example of stuff you're not really seeing today. So all the movement, right? In today's league, this is way more space. The guy's already in that left corner. Gasol's role is basically eliminated. Kobe gets to be on an island with this double. Instead, it's a little bit more jammed. Fish has to use this angle. Get in. Lamar Odom probably supposed to set a screen there, but also might have been a moving screen. And all that movement to get that bucket is just, for most teams, eliminated today. So now you look at numbers and you imagine Kobe, you imagine T-Mac, you imagine all these older players. And these older stars who even guys say wouldn't be as good today. Imagine them with how hoop is played today and the space they would have to operate, you know? Yes, numbers are absolutely inflated today. It's LO bucket 24-7. And Hancock, that just dated this game crazy. It was 24-7 in the first. Again, Boston not making shots and also not being able to defend. Yeah, see? Open shot. Boom. And mind you, this is a gigantic lead back then, because it's not as if Boston is just going to keep launching threes the next few possessions. That's the biggest thing with today, right? So you see a lead like this today, this means nothing. 7-24 back then, I remember watching this game. It felt like, oh, damn, I guess we're just cooked today. I'm still going to watch, but I guess we're just cooked. As a matter of fact, no, I probably didn't just watch. I probably left. But yeah, see, 7-24 is not a huge deal today, because they're going to space that floor. They're going to get a bunch of threes up in the coming minutes, and they'll probably make some. So yeah, today's players are way better at shooting. When you have to come back and you have to methodically come back and you have to move, as Odom is just busting the ass. Oh my gosh. Lamar Odom is killing them. Doc should have went small earlier, but again, this is 08. Small ball wasn't just a baked in concept. But clearly you can see that's the answer here. Just because Odom is on fire. Oh, look at that, the PJ Midi. Oh my gosh, they can't generate any offense. Good Lord. Odom again. This time he's got perk on him. But he doesn't want to just kill the possession with an early shot. Move it some. Again, that shot was going up earlier. In today's league, that's why there's more possessions. Pierce uncorks Celtics offense. Good block by Perk. So can Boston now start to get in transition? Pierce, pump fake, pick out the Ray Allen, transition look. There we go. So Boston aggressive in transition, because that, I mean, they're generating shots, but the Lakers are also kind of giving them certain things as well. Good hard foul right there from Kendrick Perkins. Oh, full ball pressure, full court pressure on Ray Allen. And here's Posey. So now we're technically small to match the Lakers. Oh my gosh, they had Ariza too. And so yeah, somebody's gonna hit me with that for sure. Is that the Celtics would have lost this series if Andrew Bynum played, if there was a healthy Andrew Bynum. To which I can just go, hey, so like 2010, what about Perk, right? We could do what ifs. But the one thing you realize is, wow, another miss. As Posey used Odom's closeout to create that. Good lord. A ton of this lead is Odom and the Celtics just shitting. But yeah, you look back and there's still basketball to be played. Bynum, yeah, for sure would have helped match the size, but I'm going to counter that with, man, this Celtics team was big as hell. And I'm going to be honest with you, I watched this series, which I know people didn't. If you go back and watch 08, specifically in Game 4, one of the biggest issues was the Lakers being small. And when that actually worked, it was low-key kryptonite. So the Lakers, do they even get out to this giant lead if they're playing Bynum instead of Odom and going size for size? Because that sounds crazy, but the Lakers could not go size for size with the Celtics in this year. I will say no. They could not go size for size with them. They couldn't go big for big with them. So if this turns into a big game, nobody's beating Boston at a big game, as we just generated another shot. Man. This is why right here, because I'm using this in a bit for a skit I'm doing right now. This right here is why Charles Barkley used to say jump shooting teams can't win championships. Because you see Boston generating all types of shots, but the three is just not there yet. There's good three-point shooting teams. There's some teams that really flex that. The Magic the year after this and the next couple of years after this really normalize it, or help normalize it, or start to normalize it. And then Ariza just hit a three, so why did Ariza get a wide open three, right? Well, we're in 3-2. Pierce is drawn all the way over because PJ is connected to Kobe, and boom. So, the Lakers are on fire, but you see the Celtics, so it's 34-12. Yeah, this is game over. Even today, this is a hard lead to blow. I'm not going to hold you. 12-34. The first is still a comeback today, as Eddie House got something. But yeah, this is drumming up memories of me seeing this and just going, all right, well, I guess we're losing the road games. Because again, back then, away games seemed way harder to win. Those seemed way rarer. You'll recall that's one of the reasons 2016 Game 7 from Cleveland is just in history the way it is. That was a really hard thing to do to get road wins back in the day. It's all fouled. Okie dokie, so that will do it for the first half, and what you saw there, largest lead in NBA Finals history after the first quarter. What? You're telling me even that massacre from the 80s didn't reach this? Wow. So yeah, like I was saying, even today, this is, I mean, I don't know, this has probably been updated since then, but this is an ass whooping. I didn't realize KG had 2 fouls as well. That got lost in the shuffle, but you heard Doc acknowledge there. Yeah, we're missing shots. He was calm. He had the composure. He said, look, we're missing shots. And the Celtics just brought another big in. So this is exactly how I'm countering the Bynum point. This is why it helps. I'm going to spend this whole week studying a lot of Celtic stuff. Probably drop this video in the summer because this is one thing. I'm here for the Pierce stuff, which this game probably might not do it. We'll see. In the comeback, it might. I remember Eddie House being pretty important to the comeback, but... And that's good defense from LA, good read. Yeah, it's also helping me for the counters that people are going to say when I bring up the big three Clay. And then they're going to immediately go, oh, the 08 run sucked and they barely beat LA without Bynum. And I'm going to go, hey, I think they might have, possibly won that series a little bit easier with Bynum. Because look, now Poe is on Gasol, who just fouled. But they had so many bodies to throw that if the Lakers wanted to make this a big game, with these specific rosters, is if the Lakers wanted to make this a big game, there's one thing there. And then the second part is, wow, just the Celtics are just getting punked physically now, too. The other part of it is the Celtics, look at the lineups they can run. Now you've got Cassell in, you've got Posey in, KG. I mean, this is a small lineup, technically. Even though there's 2 bigs, Poe can shoot the mid-range. And then I'll say, cool, Boston could have gone smaller. And also gave the Lakers the same problem that Odom is giving right now. So, yeah, no, Boston was just deeper. They had more players. They had more lineups to run, clearly. They probably went 10 or 11 deep in this. Kobe has 3, by the way. But they haven't really needed them up to this point. And bang. So that's not bang. But how do you get this? Again, so much more happening on an NBA floor back then. You got Vujacic curling. Farmar now off that penetration is going to find Luke in the corner, low key, because that curl while Farmar's drive was happening as the entire Celtics defense paint oriented. And so he misses that. But again, hell, I called the Celtics small, but that's once again a little bit of foot speed as well with the bigs. So for offensive purposes, compared to the Celtics starting lineup, this is small. Wow, he carried. See, that's one thing too, right? Today, a forward like Poe probably is able to bring the ball up better, probably has better handles. So yeah, players today are a bit more talented for sure. They're more versatile. Because of the way the game is played, I'm not sure that helps the entertainment value. I'm not sure it makes it better. Poe tags, KG shifts down. Luke Walton uses that momentum to find Gasol, but Gasol drops it. But the game's starting to slow down just a little bit for LA. Also, no Kobe on the floor, so wow. Turnover. Wow, no turnover. Yeah, you see, they don't have a surefire way to draw the defense in. Oh my gosh. And KG is looking to get into the body of Gasol. Does that draw help again? They were doubling this in the first. Fuck it. I didn't realize Ariza got traded mid-season. That's right, he was in Orlando. Luke, pull KG out. We ain't never gonna forget 04 Game 3 Luke, Game 2 Luke. You'll know if you watch the Couch channel. KG just put him in the post. And again, this is what I'm talking about, right? Cool, yeah, Bynum probably can play in this lineup. But how does that help if Bynum is in this lineup? And now it's Bynum and Gasol and no perimeter gravity well, because Kobe is the gravity well in this team. Wow. Yeah, we're not matched up. We deserve this. Get popped in the fucking head. 40-19. Even though things slow down. Yeah, this is, yeah. Especially in the finals, you get a 40-19 lead, bro. This is an astronomical sell. But also, there were signs, right? Because now, I would say this quarter, the Celtics have not generated as many good looks so far. It's only been 4 minutes. KG on an island with Gasol. There goes Cassell, who didn't shoot that. Again, today, where Cassell just was, that shot is going up. It's an elite shooter. 19-point lead. Kobe is now back in. We've got Posey on him. Kobe also talked about the size of this team just while we were talking about that Bynum point. And that Odom just sliced through again. Sorry, Kobe talked about the big forwards that they had, that he had the duel here too. I think that arguably was a bigger issue. And I have to look at Kobe's averages and overall how he did this series, but I think arguably their bigger issue than missing Bynum was that Kobe, who is their best player, was the only perimeter threat like himself. So Paul Pierce, Allen, both can cause a lot of damage from the perimeter. Kobe's depending on role players and shooters and such. And then he's having to go against big body after big body on the perimeter. If he gets past that, he's going against big bodies in the paint. I genuinely think that's a bigger issue than Bynum missing. Not saying Bynum wouldn't help. I'm just prepping because I know somebody's going to bring this up. Oh, yeah, I'm ready for that shit. Honestly, I was a little bit nervous. Not nervous. I'm not nervous to do this House of Highlights thing. I mean, I've done it on IRL engagement before. It was way more pressure to be up there with Alexis Morgan and Paul George. And that was a live thing, too. This is going to be a lot easier. This is an arena that I know. This is a subject that I know. Yeah. Low-key, live debating, I might be better at that than a lot of stuff that I've done. Just because Twitter's a lot harder to debate. It lacks tone. It's Kobe. Once again, what I say, gravity well. Drives in on Posey. Hurry off trying to cut through. You only have really Lamar. Well, sorry, the three wings. The three non-bigs here are spaced. And Ray. It's late. But yeah, I might be better at the live debate thing than anything. Because on Twitter, you have to fight all these other, somebody dick riding whoever you're debating. And then there's no tone. People can be a lot denser and deflect. And there's breaks in between. There's like hour-long break. I don't debate anymore on Twitter. I haven't debated in years. But I'm just saying when I did. A lot harder live. You can do a lot more, especially because nobody's gonna be disrespectful live over fucking basketball. People insult your whole bloodline on the internet if you disagree on who a better player is. All right, so Pierce is 1 of 4 so far. This is not so far the game that will help me, but Kobe cuts through. Now, yeah. Oh, give me that shit. KG was right there. A lot of turnovers. Good shot from Farmer. I thought that was a good look to get himself involved. So Cassell's trying to slow things down. We'll go to Posey. Posey. KG's calling for it. Cassell is open. Put that up. Man, we have to be nearing close to 10 shots that have been great looks. They've been generated properly. And if you do the math on that, I'm going to say almost at least 10 points are missing, which still only cuts that down a little bit, but a good bit of those are threes as well. So this might be a single-digit game right now, which is probably what the Celtics see, right? They have 8 field goals and 8 turnovers. So that's probably what the Celtics see is, hey, we are still fighting. Nobody is sitting out here with no energy. Nobody is sitting out here not trying to get out the shooters and such. And wow, yeah, I remember talking about this. I made a video about this.
Well, because he attracts so much attention here. They double Bryant every time in the low post. Boston small, nice little pass to Gasol, gets him to the free throw.
And see, that's what I'm saying, right? Look at the way we're guarding him. Now take a shooter off the floor because you have Bynum. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm going to argue. And I know nobody's watching the OA series to prepare for this debate. And so I'm going to argue, and as soon as they bring up Bynum, I'm going to be like, all right, so check it out, right? The Celtics were a huge team, and low-key, their kryptonite was smaller players and speed. And by the way, Rondo just came back. I was going to point out, I don't feel like I've seen him in a minute. That's exactly what I'm arguing is a lot of the ways Kobe could create things. Again, Celtics, there's 4 Celtics in the paint. Posey is on his way there. That's Turioff, actually, with no Gasol out here. So, again, one big. The Lakers are basically playing one actual big at a time. And so you put Bynum out, eliminate one of these guys. Eliminate Odom, eliminate Radmanovic in the corner, eliminate Vujicic. And this generated, once again, an open shot. I don't know. I don't think Bynum being there and going size for size helps, especially with what the Lakers were struggling with. I don't think it automatically erases this finals the way everyone says it does. And then people will probably come back at me and go, oh, well, what about 2010? Bynum was there and they won. Well, A, Perk got injured. B, that was a different team. The Celtics did not have as many bigs. I think the Celtics bigs, let me do the math real quick. That was an older KG after the knee injury. Again, Perk was gone in the last most important game, but Rasheed Wallace and Glenn Davis. So just not as big, especially once Perk goes away. This team had massive forwards. It had massive bigs. High key, you can kind of see small ball trying to force its way through here, right? As the Lakers probably think they're going to tie, except the transition, they just got confused. So yeah, KG and Ray have both pulled their weight in this game, so this is not going to help my case at the moment, but I know Pierce ends up doing. See, Ray Allen has 8. Okay, dokie. Sue, Kobe just had to dribble through a double team, take a tough shot. Once again, just driving the point home. Even with the double, the floor is spaced enough for him to do this. Got 2 shooters weak side. Odom is a lot quicker, can get a little floater up, can also, let's see what he does. Is he back out of here? No, he stays and close for the rebound. I'm just saying. And he wasn't playing, Kobe was not playing good this game at all. But this was a really, really, really tough matchup for him. You're just talking basketball, it's funny, right? Because it gets boiled down to, oh, LeBron didn't have help. He couldn't have beat the Celtics. And then for another player to just be, oh, they struggled and this is on them. But if we're actually talking basketball, right, and we're watching this, it was kind of like when we watched the 04 series and the Lakers were playing with Slava Medlevinko or whatever in the lineup. You look at all these monsters Detroit had and you look at the lack of space on the floor. And I was just going, bro, yeah, Kobe, I'm not protecting the shit shots that he took. But also on another level, what was the basketball to get them out of this? As Gasol does this little weak sweeping hook. And you look at him against the Celtics team, struggling, but boy, Boston is making that happen as they just use the advantages of their small lineup to get an open 3. Yeah, you could see traces of small ball trying to say, hey, there's another way. KG denying on Gasol. That's another thing. I was talking about toughness. Look at that. This is exactly what I was talking about. My goodness. You can actually see it. The things that Kobe would talk about, bro, he just studied these, right? Because we talked about Gasol being soft. Look how there's no physicality or urgency or intensity in him trying to catch this against KG. There's none whatsoever, and it turns into a turnover, and he never fought to get any real position. He just was not. He wasn't tough yet. So 3 minutes, and the Lakers, you can feel the crowd starting to get a little bit antsy as Paul Pierce. Yep, Perkins is down there clapping. They're starting to talk now. Oh, this is where you start to feel like, all right, wait a minute, hold on. We haven't actually gotten a good contribution from Kobe yet. A great contribution. That Odom hot start was cool, but what do we do now? Pierce, great defense on Kobe. Now it's Odom. Somebody else create. And you see, this is what I'm talking about, right? This might turn into a bucket. But if you want Kobe to create here, right? This is exactly what I mean about let's talk basketball. Let's not just do a narrative. Oh my fucking God. So here's Kobe. Spacing ain't gonna be there here, A, and B, Ray Allen is already saying, bet. Here's your help right here. Phone booth. And Vujacic tries to drag that away. Now you have another solid forward, big body defender on you. You know, you ask, and then people are looking to say he didn't contribute this half, but high key, the team is eating off of the attention he's seeing. The open threes they're getting, the cuts they're getting is a lot because Boston has their entire goon squad trying to stop him. So they're 6 of 11 now, so they've gotten 50% more efficient. I don't know if I just did my math right there correctly. We just ran off ball for Rondo, trying to create something on this side. Yeah, that side there was not much. Once I seen the off ball for Rondo, I said, all right, let's go the other way. Now Gasol barely makes contact on that screen. There we go. Put him in the fucking rim. Yeah, Jeff is talking about the downfall to small ball, as we've been saying. You see, Boston has gradually gone smaller and smaller here. But that is the downfall, right? Especially in this league where we're still using size. Who's down there as a shot blocker? Pierce has got Radmanovic on him. So this is one thing different from the 04 finals as well, is Posey, small ball. In the 04 finals, Kobe, a lot of the time, at least for the first few games, just would not settle for anything less than being a GOAT and chasing rip around. But it also kind of helped his offense suffer. It was your shot blocking. Was that a goaltend? Wow. Here, I don't think you've really seen him on Pierce almost at all. Ooh-wee. And this was just the Celtics playing out of transition. Posey, penetrate. Yeah, that's a scramble. Take advantage of the scramble. That would have been a huge shot. So you can feel the Lakers clinging to this momentum because, again, it's very hard for Kobe to create. And so Fish is going to split a double and charge. Nope. Foot was probably the line. So 3 fouls on Posey. And obviously that'll be a bad thing because they don't have another guy to put at his position that'll spread the floor this way. I don't think we're at the part of using Pierce at power forward yet. Kobe, foul. And once again, this is why you try to keep Kobe out of that matchup. He started on the ball on Rondo here. That's the best place for him. He could just kind of chill and roam. But the Celtics engaged that because Radmanovic is going to let Pierce straight through. And low-key could have let Gasol maybe do that. But I think he was trying to cover for Gasol. Because that was probably a bucket. So game 3, he had 6 points. And it looks like he's putting together another stinker here. See that knee brace? That was the story at the time was, man, they're going to have to do this without Pierce being great. In light of, so we're going with the double big again. P.J. Brown. Lamar Odom is wide the hell open. Wow, LA just fumbled their advantage badly there. Again, though, without Kobe, they don't have that same level of perimeter creation or being able to take advantage of things, which goes under creation. So we're going to go ahead and use as much clock as possible. Obviously, Fish. Good movement and one. Yeah. That's good stuff. But hey, I'm going to point out again, right? I'm going to keep doing this just because I have to debate it in a couple of days. Find him on this floor. Take a shooter away. Take your pick. Odom, Vujacic, Radmanovic. You end up without that. Look how much space. This is damn near. This is almost, yeah, this is pretty much modern day spacing. And but behind him on the floor, you just don't have that. Now, granted, so Gasol, yeah, once again, 3 and 9. last game. Just such a big difference. Maybe I'll do that one day. The difference between Gasol in 08 and 10. I low-key just want to keep going. I was going to stop at halftime and come back later. But yeah, I'm intrigued now because... Wow! Was that a 3 or a 2? Because they counted it as a 2, but hold up. That's a 3. That's one of those Steve Nash 3s. So we'll see if they count that. Let me just see it one more time just to make sure I'm not tripping. Yeah, that's a 3. And so, okay. All right, so that's important because in the Bynum conversation, Odom is obviously really important to that. He's just said the first few games he didn't make him pay. And so, sounds like Boston is probably playing the statistics here, saying, cool, most of the series Odom has not actually hurt us. And also, one important thing you heard Odom say there was, well, I've been on the floor. I haven't been in foul trouble. Basically, long story short, I haven't been on the bench. Yeah, with Bynum... I'm going to say he probably starts on the bench, or not starts, he comes off the bench because Odom can shoot. Yeah, you have better shooters for that small forward spot, especially if you're going to be using Bynum. You don't want the space completely killed on Kobe. Speaking of space being killed, Pierce immediately starts with aggression in this second half. All right, you cut it to 16. Immediately, he was aggressive. Now, if you're the Lakers, you know you have to know, yeah, we're playing with a lead, but we haven't won this game. This game has never really felt over. If you look at the matchups, if you look at Kobe, how he's being guarded. Go down to Gasol. No foul. Jeff talking about that Rondo issue. I literally did a whole spiel about in the first half and saying I love Rondo to death, but boy, him being guarded like he wasn't a professional hurt us throughout that era. It just did. KG. Listen to Mark Jackson saying we don't mind that shot. He called it a tough contested jumper. And this is his shot, first of all. And yeah, Gasol did contest that, but that's KG's shot, A. And B, again, today that shot is a lot. That shot's a 3 today. And it's a shot that is looked for today. Basketball has changed. Kobe. Great contest from Pierce. So you see even the bucket Kobe did make there. That's his first field goal. That was a really, really tough shot. He's 1 of 5. He's only even gotten 5 shots up. Rondo, take advantage of that space. Funny thing is with Kobe, you know, you look at 1 of 5 and how basketball is talked about. People will go, oh, he's not being aggressive. Da, da, da. And those are people, A, either who don't know what they're watching, or B, aren't actually watching. Because again, so now are we going to double still? Yeah, see, look, this is what I'm talking about right here. That is objectively the better play, is to get it to Gasol while you're being defended with 2 massive forwards. Wow. And look at the aggression from Rondo, creating nothing. And so you see some adjustments the Boston Celtics have made. A, just more aggressive in general, but B, using the space that they're giving Rondo. So that also falls under aggression too, because you're like, yeah, you're guarding Rondo like he's Tony Allen, which, by the way, where is Tony? KG. I might have to change some claims. We talk about the 86 Celtics. I don't know if I want to do the 86 Celtics as much as I want to do 08. Great creation there for a shot that KG can absolutely make. But you give up an offensive board. Kobe. Again, Doc has probably been saying, hey, we can't let Kobe rest guarding Rondo, basically. KG just got right by Gasol. Now, there is an instance where you can say Bynum would be better, right? Now, again, the trade-off is on offense, but yes, this does work better because Gasol, again, is just not tough yet. Because the few times you've seen KG really be physical with him, he's kind of just walking in, and Gasol is a lot tougher, and KG's knee was a lot older by the time they met again. Perk, yep, we're not even going to let Kobe set that up, but we're also going to get back. Now Kobe's cutting, finds Amar Odom, who doesn't want to take that shot. Today, that is a 3-point attempt. Yesterday, that is a drive. And oh man, they cannot do this without Perk. He is grabbing his shoulder. Fuck my life. Ha! But he's got 2 points and 4 fouls, so other than just kind of being there for his size, it's not going great. And we also had PJ Brown, so it's not a horrible issue, but man, Austin low-key limped to the finish line. I mean, Pierce is wearing that knee brace. He said he just had to shit, so now I'm confused. Was the knee brace just an act, or did he actually hurt his knee? I don't know. Pierce has a lot. And then, yeah, Perk is now going down. PJ Brown midi, no good. Wonder what the battle of the boards was up to this point, and look how fast this team is compared to Boston. LA has maintained his lead. They've got 17 assists to Boston's 5. KG is wide open. He has to take and make that. He does not. Wow. So when does Boston actually come back here? Celtics in zone. Pierce, hand. And that's technically, these 2 shots he's made on Pierce are technically the best shots he's had. But this is what it was like guarding Kobe. It's one good defender on him. A lot of the times it wasn't good enough. And so imagine him in the, once again, pace and space era, where he gets a look like this way more often, where he gets to go one dribble, pull up, or doesn't have to worry about a double team that will instantly be paid for. Because if you look at a lot of these doubles, they're not paid for the same as today. They're paid for with a pass to the middle, and that might not actually yield anything. Whereas today, that's going to a guy whose sole job in the league on offense is to hit that shot sometimes. Fisher tried to screen, get the switch there. They did not. And now the Celtics have to be saying, bro, we can't let him go one-on-one now. Because he's getting comfortable. They're almost up 20. He can kind of get the work. And woo-wee, they're going to throw that bitch away. That is bad. Because you're in control of this game. And so turnover there don't help. KG. Rip through. Pierce. Look, they're just trying to play with how the Lakers are guarding, and they got to look out of it. But yeah, they're just trying to create anything. You see why there's been a lack of assists today is because they can't make a shot. Gasol found his shooter, didn't go up with it. KG already got him out of his position. You already know we're doubling off this. And almost another steal. Kobe's calling for it. Fish says no. I want to direct this to the mismatch. And then they can't get it. So now we're getting down on clock here. Gasol. The Celtics are just playing great defense here. My gosh. Even ran Fish off the line. But he still scored. That might be the most impressive thing about the fact the Celtics win this game is... You look at that whole possession, they had to defend 2 possessions there for a pretty long time, and the breakdown came very, very late. They really exhausted themselves and still somehow ended up winning this game as Pierce just got the easiest bucket of the game. Still 18, but if I'm the Lakers, I still feel pretty decent right now. Because you survived it. You survived the run where they were getting a little bit of energy and confidence. Paint clogged. 8 seconds. We're looking a little bit stagnant. Kobe got a shot he can make. Now, that is one thing that's changing is since they're up so much, it's starting to be like, all right, Kobe's getting a little bit more comfortable looking for these ISO looks that are tough shots, and they just confuse the defense. Oh, my God. How did they win this game? They're shooting like 15%. Gasol. Great little give and go here. Posey was closing out. Boston don't have a second big in the paint. Man, it also sticks out how much better the 2010 Lakers were. Is having Artest in that small forward spot, another really, really big body. LeBron Odom was still on that team. And one. So you see Gasol starting to look at him. Now, this is where you could argue Bynum probably matters because... Now Pierce is getting the ball in some places where he can just kind of get a layup because the Lakers have 1 big on the floor. He's attacking from different angles, and Kobe's getting pissed. He's like, bruh, don't let him gain confidence because these are some of the easiest buckets they've gotten have been Pierce buckets. He's now got 12 on 4 of 8. We just ran Kobe off. Radmanovich is going to get that 3 up and airball it, so Boston is still down 18, though. Probably not a ton to worry about. KG. That dive gave Eddie House an open shot. Uh-oh. Every time you hear Mike Green voice like that, you know you're in danger. You hear the crowd. They're like, come on, guys, you got this. Pierce makes it through that screen. Denying Kobe. Now Gasol tries to get in position. That was a lackadaisical pass to Kobe. And this is like the 4th shot of just, please, Kobe, do something. and Pierce blocked it. So not only has Pierce gotten loose on offense in this quarter, he's now also really playing good defense on Kobe overall, because even the shots Kobe has made, Pierce has been there. So this is why I watched this, right? Because I mostly wanted to see defense. I could have just watched Pierce offensive highlights. I wanted to see what the defense looked like. There's no way they just sacrificed the whole possession to give us an injury report, dog. 13. Celtics on a 7-0 run. Now, one thing that's changed, I mean, the Celtics energy, you see right there, boom, they're just making life really, really tough. There was a breakdown there, but they have gotten enough Kobe save us possessions, which you didn't necessarily see in the first half, but Odom was also a lot more effective. So without Odom there to go on a massive burst, it's starting to be like, hey, we need our guy, we need our superstar. James Posey just got another look. Man, Posey is washed as hell. They're 5 of 18, and Posey is probably missed 10 of those. And life is just tougher for Odom as well. They've started to guard him like an actual threat. As you see, he gets in here. Posey, physical with him. So that's one thing that's different is Odom is just, yeah, see, they're being way more physical. They're saying, okay, he's caused a problem for us. He's been a number 2. He's been the number 2 for Kobe today. He's filling that second star role damn near. So we take that away as now he's traveling. Oh, no, they're calling a foul. Wow. But you see Boston starting to feel like, okay, physically, we've got the best of this team. Kobe denied by Posey. They just doubled Odom in the post. Now Fisher has to chuck up some bullshit. Yeah, it's getting tough because they're such a physical and defensive team. They have been able to now take away Lamar Odom's impact. The energy is translating to offense, as you see right there. And they're crowding Kobe on demand. So, again, pace and space era. Wouldn't be able to do that. Whoever is Lamar Odom for Kobe in this era is spaced better, probably hitting threes. Boston is taking both of those away as Gasol has got hold there by the rim. Oh, Fish. They're running them off the three-point line. They're just swarming Odom. My goodness. Swarming Lamar Odom. And this is where I say, again, the Celtics are just a deeper team, too, because what is your adjustment now? If you're Phil, Odom mentally might just be taken out of this half. And so your options are Turioff. I mean, who have they played in this game? They're benched. They've only went to Farmar, Turioff, and I have to look who started. Vujacic or Radbonovic, maybe. I don't know. So yeah, Ariza, there we go. That's your adjustment. So Ariza just came in, and again, Paul Pierce, the possessions, like I said, I haven't really seen a bad possession of defense from Pierce on Kobe so far. Kobe can make that, but that's as good as defense as you can play on Kobe Bryant. So we're chipping away, and that Odom advantage being taken away is now starting to reveal that Kobe is in a phone booth. Oh my gosh, bro. 2.5 and a third. This game is starting to feel long. Gasol, post, KG. More physical than him at this point. Foul? Foul? Yeah, that's a foul. On KG? Probably on KG. That's like 4, right? Oh, that's Posey. Okay, Posey's got... Yeah, man, Boston fouled a lot in this game. And here comes Tony. Okay. I was wondering when we were going to see him. Again, Tony is another space killer, so you have to be careful. But again, that's another body that can switch and be on Kobe and Pierce. Hey! I actually remember seeing this one. I think I was back at the game at this point. My dad probably called me in and said, hey, Boston coming back. Now, how does this happen? So, Pierce doesn't force a switch here, just has Ariza on him. We just drive, and there's no second big down there. So, yes, Bynum does make a difference there. But, seeing how Boston has defensively taken Lamar Odom and Kobe out of this game. So, Lamar Odom in the second half, they've taken him out. And Kobe has just been, he hasn't had really a good look yet. Does Andrew Bynum help that part? He helps a feature while still taking away another. That's all I'm saying. Sorry, I'm debating. I'm pre-debating right now. Because for so long, I mean, I probably at some point have agreed and just said, okay, yeah, they won each other's championships. Maybe LA should have won 08. Maybe Boston should have won 10. I don't know if I said that. That's more of a Warriors-Cavs take from the mid-2010s. But yeah, they have another body to double Kobe with. You see Pierce. Look at the off ball from Pierce. And again, Gasol just isn't really there yet. Now we're trapping him. Gasol blocked by KG. The defensive grid of this team is crazy, bro. So, minus a shooter on the floor, like I said, and this is the most shooting they could probably have. Pierce, denial all over Kobe. Now we're trapping here. Kobe get the ball, trap. He about to fade away. He makes the right pass, and Gasol just got to go up stronger than that. Watching this team play defense is a thing of beauty. This is how you see so many fucked up box scores from this playoff run, but they still win the series. It's because there's no team in the year 2008 that was physically able to match the Boston Celtics, I don't think. I have to go through, but this is a monstrous team. I might come back to Brent with a change tomorrow on my topics. And now Eddie House. Boom. Do I even need to tell you how that was created? Get to the corner. You know you have to watch a KG dive or shot. In that case, it was a dive. This crowd is stunned. Mike Breen. Tony Allen. Ball pressure. Pierce denying Kobe. Now Kobe's looking for the screen. Didn't do anything. Kobe. 1v1 with Pierce. That's another really tough shot. Kobe Bryant doesn't have a lot of options either, though, was my point. Because you look and say, oh, Kobe this, Kobe that. My point is, if we're going to actually just analyze basketball for one legend, let's analyze it for all. And not just go with the blanket narrative of, oh, you should have done more. My nigga, tell me what you wanted Kobe to do. Tell me what you wanted him to do when he was trapped every play, when there was help. When the bigs jumping out on the screen and the paint is clogged. Your option is to take a very tough shot over a very good defender. I mean, it's almost the same thing as 04. We watched the 04 series, like actual footage. I'm not just talking about things that I think. We watched it. The videos exist on YouTube. Go look at how the defense was being played, and there's not another option than to take a very tough shot. Pierce. Again, here we go. Now PJ. Looked like he was going to trap him. Gasol got down there. Boom. Big. Comes out. Pierce. Recover. They're everywhere, bro. They're everywhere. This is just a... Yeah, this is insanity. Once that Lamar Odom Zenkai boost wore off, this shit was wraps. Oh, and I remember this bucket. Was this in the fourth? Or do I remember it? No, the one I'm thinking about was in the fourth. Now we're showing Pierce too. His PJ is right there, though. Yeah, the size. So at a certain point, they absolutely needed bottom defensively, but I just don't know if that solves the whole problem. Man. I think at this point, Boston knows they're going to win this game. 21-3 run. And I think we're here seeing exactly what happened. And I think Boston just knows they won the game. I think LA knows too. Let's hear Phil. Does he know?
Third quarter run by the Celtics, and that leaves the Lakers up by 2. How did Boston get back in this thing?
I don't know. How'd they do it?
You're supposed to know, not me.
Well, momentum's a strange girl. She really jumped on the other side of the ship. And, you know, we just did things down there offensively that would put us in bad situations. So they got transition game going and their half-court game going. Paul Pierce, a lot of effort in that half.
What does momentum do now? What do you do to try to get it back on your side?
It'll come back. We'll be all right.
Thank you, Phil. Mike?
Now, one thing you can tell is Phil is just pissed at that point. Phil is so fucking mad. He did not want to answer that question. That was almost a Popovich answer. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we got Odom back in. Now we put Leon Poole on Odom. So Kobe, yeah. Oh man, Pierce is like, it's like glue, bro. I'm gonna watch another game, but this is why I say Pierce is disrespected, right? So let's get to that argument, because so far I've just been arguing the counter of what they're gonna say about this big 3 run. But let's talk about the defense we've seen by Paul Pierce. Okay, he hasn't been super effective on offense in this game, but he has been extremely offensively potent in this series, and through 6 games he mostly is offensively potent. Shooting has gone up. Pierce screen just got a great look. Poe in that size, because I think this might be the first time we've seen a Poe PJ lineup. So this is another big lineup, and Perkins actually didn't even come back, so that's probably why we're seeing that here. But yeah, man, Pierce, and now he's calling forward on Kobe. Nigga, PJ, if you don't pass that shit. Pierce got an opened offensive foul. So even in this game, this is not his best offensive game, but the defense he's played on Kobe quite literally has made it so LA's offense just stalled. Because after Lamar Odom couldn't do anything, Kobe also couldn't do anything. And you see Kobe, once again, phone booth. Poe is out there. Now, Kobe decides to shoot this. This might be the first outright bad shot, I would say. But also, if you're Kobe at this point, right, and you see Lamar Odom going to the wing, I mean, Odom hitting the ball over and over in last quarter kind of shifted the momentum. And Kobe's got to uncork this at some point. So, but Pierce right there with him. And so Pierce, again, having the main job of Kobe and LeBron in the same playoffs, that is what I am going to argue. Because, yeah, finals MVP is just kind of like his tag, but that's going to open up conversations about what happened the rest of this series. And my gosh, man, when people talk about the big three, especially because a lot of people didn't actually watch it, they don't pay respects to what actually happened on the floor. Man, Ray Allen, gravity, Forrest rebound from the big, and they don't say, hey, when the rest of the big three wasn't scoring, when Ray Allen was having a horrific series against Cleveland, when KG wasn't scoring as much, it was up to Pierce as the main perimeter guy. Because Pierce is the on-ball creator. Ray Allen, you see, he don't go off the dribble a ton. It's mostly Pierce. And so if KG's not hitting that little jumper or turnaround, Pierce has to go create. And he had to do that against Kobe and Braun while playing defense on them as well. Because you can't just say, oh, that was just a great big team. Yes, they were. And yes, he has received help. And also his defense has been phenomenal one-on-one. I can say all of those things since I've watched it. And I know the people I'm about to debate against didn't. Oh, but look at this. Boom. Physical with him. Making sure the catch is tough. Ray Allen came over and helped that time. Pierce played the good initial defense, though, as he's supposed to. They don't win this series without Pierce's defense. Beautiful. Yeah, that big shit is starting to punch them in their mouth. So they don't score here, but PJ screen, Vujic just dies. Turry off on Ray is bad. As we're talking about, he's starting to put the ball on the floor a little bit. And then you've just got the perfect setup here. You've got two small players in the vicinity of PJ and Leon Poe. So dive PJ and just no defensive intensity whatsoever from LA here. That should have been a bucket. So yes, in these instances, yes, Bynum does help. I'm not going to argue that he wouldn't have helped. I'm going to say his impact might have been neutralized, though. Just given the makeup of the rosters and what was happening as Kobe finally gets a good look. And that happened more or less in transition. I think they said that's his third field goal. 3 of 14. Yeah, look at this. This is beautiful. Now Kobe is screened off. So you're seeing more Kobe on Pierce here, which hasn't happened a ton. Hand, Pierce, drive, fade. So he's doing this on one end and having to deny Kobe on the other. I'm sorry. It's disrespectful, you know, and Pierce hasn't done himself favors in the media, but he has been disrespected. I'm going to recommend in this debate people go watch the footage. Next, I'm going to look at Cleveland. I'm not going to look at LA next. I'm actually going to look at Cleveland. Probably Game 7, actually. Because Game 7, they were so goddamn close to losing. And I always have thought about how insane that was. But I want to watch the game and show people why. It wasn't just... There's actual things that happen on a court. As Cole, wow, a blocking.
But here in transition, pick and roll mistake by the Celtics. Bryant, head of steam, gets all excellent individual.
That's one thing. The Celtics just don't make mistakes a lot. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. People, you know, it just gets boiled down to narratives, but things happen on the basketball court. You have to try to talk about, you know? So Odom, again, has lost all of his luster. Takes that 3. And why did he have to take that 3? Because how are you going to get the ball to Pierce in this? Sorry, how you going to get the ball to Kobe in this possession? Right there, they could have, for real. Farmar just didn't see it. And then Pierce denies the cut. And you're not getting that pass to him. Yeah, again, I think LA knew they were pretty much cooked unless Kobe just got on one of those all-time heaters. I think they know. KG. Bump. 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 Single coverage. Still couldn't get it. And again, I say, does it look like the big three have been playing great? That's going to be a difficult one for me to argue, honestly. KG, Pierce, and Allen, I'm going to have to more argue it was the teams around them. Because as long as this big three is healthy, you see if they have the right support. Boom. See, when Kobe's able to measure with no help, those jumpers are typically the best looks he's gotten. And see, look. You just saw they said Kobe was 4 of 11 again. Oh, wow. We just giving that to Eddie House for a reason. And if you just relegate it to stat box score watching, you won't see right here as Kobe. Not gonna lie, he could have made that one. Hope was late and everything. That one he could have made. That was like the first one where I just go, damn. That's probably the first shot out of 15 shots he's taken where I just go, damn, Kobe. KG. See, they're starting to... How many different styles this team had. Now we're beating them up down low. And it wears you down over the course of a game, 100%. So I'm not even going to try to argue that it didn't. Turioff. Not really a threat. Vujicic. If Turioff makes that, he just makes it. I think you just heard KG yell, hell no. Did I just find the original hell no? Hold on.
Jump, throws it back out. Vujicic. Turioff with the jump shot.
I think that was actually Pierce. Okay. Oh, man. Hell no. Trash ass nickel. Well, we're getting to 6.5, and this game has really, really slowed down. When people say playoff basketball slows down, this is what they mean. You see all that running in the first half. Hey! For what it's worth, all this size the Celtics have is more of a grind down thing, because I don't think the finishing has been great. We're trapping Kobe immediately in transition. And I think that might be the first bucket Odom has had in a minute. Obviously, his best game of the series without even looking. But you can kind of see why, too, though, because once the Celtics put that pressure on him, you could just kind of see the fold. He's got 6 since the first quarter. Kobe's got 8 assists. That's a foul on Turioff. I think I just saw Posey come back in, but I wonder, right? Because Posey, I'm going to assume, known for mostly shooting. Oh, you know what? I just had a core memory. How ass Posey has been in this game. Oh, that directly translated to NBA 2K9. My goodness, bro. Or was it 2K? Was he? Not 2K8. It was because he wasn't on the 2K9 roster. I don't think. Oh, damn. Pierce. Wow. Bro, this is what I'm saying. Celtics. So you see Park didn't come in. Look at Pierce's knee here. He just did the damn, almost did the Curry thing. And that was the knee that was weak. This is why I'm confused. Because he said that the whole injury thing was an excuse for having to go shit. But you can see that knee is wobbly and everything. The way his offense mostly. 77-81. Game has slowed down. You see both offenses struggling. Ray Allen just slipped. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ball on the floor. Finds Posey, who was 0 of 100. Hit the one that mattered. Whatever 2K it was, 8 or 9. Because for some reason I feel like he was a 9. But whatever. He probably wasn't. Whatever when I used to have to play online with these Celtics, Posey's jumper, it had no timing, bro. The way his legs went up in the shot. The release point, it was horrible. I was shooting just like this with him. Pierce. So this time he fought over the screen. This is like the worst position he's been in, but now it's KG. Sliding over. It's Kobe. Might have thought he was going to get a foul here, but no, he just ran into that demon. I mean, even if you hit Gasol right here, Posey standing right there. Ray Allen is there. I mean, there actually was almost, once he left his feet, there was almost no really good option here. Vujicic, you're not getting that ball to Vujicic. Pierce, once again, all over Kobe. So this is just going to have to be some Gasol bucket, and he just barely got that. 4 minutes. Ooh-wee. LA is now at a point where they're just saying, bro, the Celtics are struggling too. We can survive this. KG. Inside. Foul. Gasol in his ass. Whatever the stats say, you can clearly see the physical difference between KG and Gasol in this series. Text and name of your choice. The player of the game. The player of the game. Watching this is Paul Pierce. It is. So I'm glad I chose this game. This is why I chose this game, because this is... Game 3 was his worst offensive performance, but Game 4 was probably, I think, the worst offensive performance outside in all the important games played, because the stats in Game 6 are completely rigged. That game was over so quick. But the defense he's playing, and when he was effective on offense, I mean, he came out in the second half immediately aggressive, which low-key changed things. Is Odom, ooh-wee. Just missed it. Now Boston can take the lead. The heart of every Laker fan is in their throats. Eddie House trying to get the screen, so Farmar switches on him. Instead, Farmar is just out of position, and Boston leads. Yeah, I was here for this. Watching this, I will remember. I remember. See Kobe trying to tell Gasol where to go. And the defense is just swarming. Goodness. So you see, yeah, Kobe wanted a faster roll from Gasol here. And he is essentially driving into 3 bodies as Farmar. If he hits it, he hits it. Also, Eddie House was 1 pass away. Sorry, 1 step away. This is what I'm saying, right? And how they're able to kill things. Gasol here gets that KG's boom right there. It's like he teleported. Now Ray is able to close out decently to Vujacic if he needs to, but they're not even looking that way. Instead, they're kind of nutting up, honestly. They're kind of folding here. Yeah, oh man. Los Angeles is stunned. Pierce. Same thing. We want Jordan Farmar. Oh my gosh, we got Jordan Farmar. Pierce. Let go of the shot. That would have been the dagger. Ray Allen rebound. Yeah. He who shall not be named would have helped there because Ray's got 9 rebounds. That's how he contributed to this one. He scored a little bit in the beginning. Rebounds have been huge. Kobe closes out late. Lay-in. The way I see it, Bynum only solves 1 issue for them. Because if you look at how Boston got back into this game, it was multiple things, right? Now, the one advantage they flat out have because of no Bynum is, yes, boards. And then being able to do what Ray just did there. Attack a closeout. Get to the paint a couple of times. And look at the denial everywhere, bro. This is just legendary defense. Legendary defense. Odom rebound. Are we going to go to Kobe? Ray Allen saying, I'm ready to help. Kobe trying to force. Finds Farmar. We need you to hit that. Where's D-Fish? Boston making this a 2-possession game right now will end it. KG. Nope. We're not letting that happen. Odom dropped. KG over Gasol. And this one is over. See, this is what it felt like in Game 6. 2013. When it was Spurs Heat. And they went up. This is exactly how it felt. And Mike Breen was doing that one too. The energy, everything. It just started to feel. You see Buddy facing the red right there? This is, I'm telling you, I'm having the same exact feeling as watching Heat Spurs, where it's just, oh man, they got him. Use the looks on their faces. Oh, buddy. That's why this D-Fish. That's why that's the most painful final loss of all time, because that game was going to win them the title. And they had it exactly in this spot where, oh, and it was less time than this. They had him in the we got him spot. Kobe nails both and makes it 1 possession. Lakers are pressing. Kobe's on Pierce now because he probably has fouls to spare. And it's the end of the game. Now there's no excuse not to do it. Pierce is, yeah, see? Yeah, Kobe's getting after it. Kobe is getting the fuck after it. Did they get the switch? They basically got the switch. And Pierce drew the foul. And he's going to the line. Yep, basic. Might as well. Yeah, they forced it. And KG just did like a little screen on Kobe, basically, by pretty much boxing out. It's like Duncan is a master at that. Boxing out in place of a screen so it don't get called moving. Because that's how he made sure he wasn't going to be able to switch it back. See, look at it. Nope, you ain't getting to the other side of that. So Pierce just got to the line. Misses the first. 79% in the playoffs. No way he misses both of these, right? He missed the one that was like less pressure. Wow. See, Ray Allen's already in position. Vujacic gets to the corner. Pierce. Foul to give. 1v1. Okay, created. Obviously don't want to foul him, so it's 1 possession. Low key, Boston just almost unsettled LA's defense there. KG's trying to post. Screen. Ray Allen. Wee. I'd have been sick if I was LA, bro. This Posey has been a shitter this game. But yeah, Radmanovic comes off and just attacked Ray Allen, which forced Gasol to just go die about it. Look at that shot of his face there. And there's no rebounder even if he misses this. Oh. Hey, man. Look. We lost 2010. 2010 hurt my soul. Watching this makes me feel better, though. I'm going to be honest. Because as much as 2010 hurt, oh, man. Posey on a of a million night. Okay, but Fish got it right back. See, Fish should have been in, honestly. I'm sure Farmer had some defensive metrics over him or something at this age. I don't know. Fisher should have been in, bro. That's Kobe's right hand. Oh, my God. Was that a 2? Oh, yeah, his foot was on the line. God damn. It don't matter, though. It's still one possession. If you're LA, you just got to get a stop. Kobe's taking the challenge, pulling his shorts up. Same way Pierce is taking the challenge on him. A beautiful thing to see. AG, same exact thing they've ran about 3 times. Kobe fouled him. Because you see what they just don't want. You can't let Gasol get involved in this. They don't have another big back there. And it's not like you can put Odom on KG. That'll cause another problem. They just outmatched. You know, one thing, I just had a thought watching that little hype thing they put together to go into the timeout. People look at old box scores and immediately just start pointing fingers in the old era. When really, a lot of the times, it was just good defense, bro. That might be another video I had to make. Because I've now watched, or rewatched anyways, I watched this whole 08 series in real time. But 04, I went back and watched 04. And that's a blemish on Kobe's, the quote-unquote, legacy. And a lot of the times, you'll just pull out these box scores, and these box scores go on these meme graphics, and it gets debated. And when you go back and look, it's like, man, it's good defense. The floor wasn't as spaced. Guys couldn't shoot 50+% as easily back then as Kobe finds a quick one for Gasol. Obviously, the name of the game is just score quick. Celtics don't want to foul. Oh, wow. Oh, Vujicic just got put on the floor. AG, high screen, didn't do much. Lakers obviously don't need to foul. The defensive pressure is heavy. I wonder if the Celtics go back to this Pierce. Yep, because I was about to say this is causing the Lakers problems, trying to keep Gasol out of this matchup. Ray just went 1-on-1. This is the first time I think he's really went 1-on-1, and man. See, this is what a modern floor, I mean, this is exaggerated for sure, but in a modern floor, the space is closer to something like this. Although, I mean, god damn. Kobe being so far out on Pierce, on one hand, I get it, but on the other, Ray just has so many options to go 1v1 here. Zero help defense from Radmanovic. Gasol steps over. Even if he steps over, now KG is just going to get something, the bucket or a foul. That is just completely unacceptable defense with the whole season on the line. Crazy to let Ray play 1-on-1 here. Like, okay, but let's have a convo again, right? Because people, just because I'm debating in my head, Bynum is on this floor. Who's Bynum guarding, right? Because so it's probably going to be Gasol at PF, Bynum at center. So Radmanovic gets sacrificed. Bynum being on KG, Gasol on Posey is not good. Gasol having to close out, Gasol being that far out of the paint, Gasol having to move his feet to take away corner and wing threes, that's also not great for LA. So yeah, while you stop this, there would have been a different way to attack that, you know? But yeah, the box scores. Because Kobe's box score here looks like shit, but if you actually watched this game, I think he only missed one shot. That was just a whiff. Everything else was almost perfect, just flawless defense from Boston. Yeah, just if you are watching these, a lot of the games I've seen players struggle in where it's a whole thing about their legacy. You can actually go look at the tape, which is why we're going to look at that Game 7 tape. As Vujicic just took a... Yeah, the LA was all fucked up mentally. Kobe tried to get a foul. No, won't go. That is GG's. Even right there, right? Well, I think I was in the midst of talking. Look at Kobe in this position. The game is pretty much over. We're not fumbling a 5-point lead here, but KG gets out on Kobe. That might be the first time we've seen that. Rebound. It goes to Kobe. Posey immediately gets on him. This is just a legendary defensive team, bro. And yeah, the player of the game was Paul Pierce. No matter what the box score says, it was Pierce. If you watch both sides, player of the game is Paul Pierce.